What is up, everybody? This is RybackStun. We have returned to Marvel Heroes. We are looking at QoL for... Not even a QoL. We're on the test center right now, by the way. We're looking at some changes that have been made to Invisible Woman. Now, I was requested to make this video, specifically because somebody was interested in figuring out how to do it. I want to preface this video with something that is very, 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 very important. I know nothing about this character. I played her when she first came out a little bit. I actually don't even own this character. I played her on Test Center. I did a little bit of leveling. I did not enjoy the leveling experience that she had while I was on Test Center, and it only got worse as the game went on. As other characters became more powerful, she did not change at all in any way, shape, or form. But I've been hearing some good things about her. So, because I know nothing about her, I have here on my left a list of all the powers and abilities and stuff like that that have changed over the various iterations of Test Center. So hopefully when this QoL, I guess, if you want to call it a QoL, they don't call it a QoL, but it kind of is a quality of life thing. When it happens to hit on Test Center when it happens to hit live soon, you'll be able to figure out all the different things. So now that I've rambled enough, let's go off. I'm going to just go line item by line item because I still have no clue how this character works. Combat Force Fields has been merged with Invisible Combat. So I believe Invisible Combat is this. Except for the damage over time proc, which has become its own dedicated power that takes the place of Combat Force Fields. So, Invisible Combat gains the affixes on former combat fields. New accesses include damage rating versus unaware, crit rating, and a flat damage percentage multiplier for a duration when spending focus. The active power Conceal Allies has been merged into this power as well, with the former toggle of Invisible Combat migrating to Personal Force Field. Oh my god, so much migration. The toggle effect no longer costs Spirit. This solidifies Invisible Combat as a powerful offensive passive active. So there you go. You get concealment, your allies can be concealed, yada yada blah blah. Personal Force Field, which I believe is... Probably should have looked at these before I did this. Here we go. Gains the defense rating and the toggle effect from the former Invisible Combat. Automatic invisibility threshold increased to 30% maximum health. Passively applies the toughness team buff when Invisible Woman spends focus, and it is no longer applied to Shield Dome. This solidifies the powers of strictly defensive passive. So you've got your block, your defense rating, your projectile deflection chance, your regeneration. You automatically become invisible for 3 seconds when you drop below 30% health with a 30-second cooldown. And you get toughness when you spend focus. And when it's toggled on, you become stealth when out of combat. So that's actually pretty cool. In terms of active powers, her focus secondary resource has been... The restoration has been increased. You gain a pip every 10 seconds, down from 11. Focus spending removed from all but 2 powers, making spending focus a clear choice among builds. She has a new power called Suffocate, so here we go. That immobilizes enemies in an area with a force bubble for a short duration, and places a smaller bubble on the enemy's heads that causes a damage over time effect for a long duration. This power replaces Combat Force Field's damage over time effect. So this gives you a damage ability. Let's go ahead and check it out really quick. So there's the area that also drops the bubble on their head. Dropping it on Surtur makes him look like he's an astronaut, which is hilarious, by the way. We have Storm of Spheres, which is this. Duration increased to 8 seconds. Area now applies slow and vulnerability. Maximum storms active at once raised to 2, and this information is now displayed in the tooltip. So you got all your information here. You can maintain up to 2 areas at any one time. So, bop, bop. That's pretty cool, actually. That you can generate all that. And it will replace the first one placed. So that's cool. Quantum Compression, which is the signature, now fully restores Invisible Woman's focus on activation. Spirit cost is removed, and the area effect radius is increased to a much better match the visual effects. So let's go ahead and pop that. Boom. Focus seems to be broken right now. Or it says I have 3 out of 3 focus right now. The indicator might be messed up. Cascading Force. Vulnerability removed in favor of slow, and the power knocks back enemies on initial cast, making this a more utility-oriented area clearing power not mandatory for single-target rotations. Yeah, and the spirit cost was lowered to 15 per second. Crusher, which has been significantly changed, actually. It now summons all 3 Crushers at once with a shorter duration and a higher cooldown, with significantly higher damage. It's no longer treated as a summon and will gain all the stats from Invisible Woman. The AI should now react faster to enemies and be generally smarter about wandering around to and from foes. Animation time reduced. Boom, there's the Crusher, and they go and crush. So, that's pretty cool. Resonating Wave, which is in the second ability. Here we go. Area of effect increased to be more forgiving for a ranged character. The cooldown, spirit restoration, and increased damage effect will now only trigger when invisible, allowing the power to be used as either a powerful layer or a spammable area of effect attack. Power now powers weakened. So there you go. Invisibility is this. Now restores health while invisible. Duration increased to 3 seconds. Cooldown removed, but the activation will extend the duration by. But each activation will extend the duration by 3 seconds. So players can't accidentally overwrite some of the effects of the duration from previous invisibility. Invisibility now frees Sue with crowd control effects. So that's pretty cool, and it costs a focus in order to be able to use it. So there's the focus thing, and now you can see it's recovering, and now she's invisible. So the duration just keeps going, and yada yada blah blah. Seeker Orbs. Which are these guys? Power no longer breaks stealth and now spends focus. Cooldown and endurance removed. Endurance cost removes. Radius of each Seeker Orb impact doubled, making them a bit better at clearing groups in addition to hitting single targets. Additionally, Seeker Orbs restore spirit, giving an animation-free ranged alternative to using resonating wave to restore large amounts of spirit quickly. So, so it's one of these. Now, can you direct it? That looks like it. Let's see what happens when I do this. Yes, so you can direct it. That's cool. Next up is Concealed Allies. That was removed and merged into Invisible Combat, so we saw that earlier, which I believe is this. Shield Blitz, which is not here. Let's go to 3 really quick. Here we go. That's the dash. Projectile deflection buff has been removed in favor of reflecting all projectiles while traveling. Projectile deflection of personal force field has been increased to compensate. Travel speed increased slightly. So. Oh, interesting. There you go. It's interesting. That didn't move while I tried to use it initially. Oh well. Anyway. Probably just an issue with where the cursor was. Crushing Force, which is this. Knockdown and weaken removed in favor of dealing bonus damage to slowed targets. This now deals bonus damage to targets in the center of the impact area. This will provide Invisible Woman builds with an alternative primary spender Crashing Wave style. Spirit cost reduced to 15. Boom. Crashing Wave style. Rather than... That was on this other... Here we go. Rather than dealing more bonus damage on the third strike, the power now always deals 50% more damage for a duration after Sue uses invisibility. The original damage affix hasn't been as fluid as originally intended, so we wanted to incorporate something more simple and Cordware Kit. Range of the projectile and projectile speed have been increased by 25%. So there you go, that's how all that works. We've got Wall of Force, which is a brand new power, which is here. She raises a force wall capable of deflecting projectiles and blocking enemy pathing. The visuals for this are not in, but we wanted to test out what Sue might look like if they were. So for now, you'll find this is using Iceman's ice wall visuals. Bam. Oh, actually, they did change it a little bit. That's pretty cool, actually. Let's see what it looks like this way. Yeah, that's neat. And it blocks pathing and projectiles and all that good stuff. Force Pillar. Since Force Pillar will provide the blocking mechanics found in Pillar, since Force Wall, will provide the blocking mechanics found in Pillar, we'll be changing this to a damage power, which also applies the vulnerability effect that makes targets struck take an additional 20% damage from Crushing Force and Cascading Force. This way, Force Pillar can provide alternatives to Crashing Wave style as a primary spender. So there's your Pillar. Wow, and it's just attack. Sweet. Shield Dome. Here it is. The toughness team buff has been replaced with a new type of team support affix that shields allies from damage and restores health in a noticeable fashion. Players can only be affected by one source of this powerful affix in a given duration, like team invisibility powers. The power no longer prevents crowd control. Rather than reflecting some projectiles, the shield dome now heavily slows the trajectory of projectiles as well as enemies who enter the area. On initial cast, the dome will also knock back any nearby enemies. So that's cool. And Protected is I don't know if it's brand new, but It is new, because there's no letter thing for it, because that would be power. That's pretty cool. And now the ultimate grants Unbreakable to Sue and her teammates and doubles her focus regeneration rate for the duration. I'm not going to show that off because there's nothing different about it. It just gives you Unbreakable and all that good stuff. So it actually looks like they've increased her utility a lot. Made her worthwhile in taking in terms of group content, because she does have all the invisibility stuff, the heals, and different things. But it also looks like she's going to have some nice damage rotations to make it so that she isn't just, you know, the whatever she ends up being with, she ended up being with the lack of her ability to do things. So, Invisible Woman players, go ahead and comment on what you think this is going to do in the comments below. Make sure to give your feedback in the feedback threads on Test Center. I know this is coming out late. I didn't anticipate anybody actually wanting this video from me, and because it's not a character I play, or a character that's new that I would play, there wasn't really any reason for me to do so, but request has been filled. So, hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did showcasing it to you. Remember to like and comment on the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and Tumblr at RybackStun. More videos as they come along, and with that, this is RybackStun, signing out.